So it's been a whole lot of this over here lately. For like 6 months now, I don't know. Um, my left knee has been bothering me. This after a lifetime of no knee problems. Suddenly it's just a stiff, doesn't want to bend. I don't know. Joint issues, welcome to aging. And so I went to the doctor, did an x-ray. My cartilage looks okay in there. Um, but I never did an MRI. But it just didn't seem drastic enough to think there was a tear or anything. So it's like this nebulous, problematic thing that is changing my life because I can't do impact activity. So I love running, and it's fall, and I can't run. And there are fitness classes I like to do that involve the BOSU and like going up and down on the BOSU. Can't do them. So I've had to imagine how I'm going to get myself sweaty and get exercise each day. And the end result of all of this, with a few doing physical therapy, no great yields there, has been that I am taping my knee quite a bit. It's the only thing that makes a difference. Shifting that patella a millimeter up and a millimeter over and taping it there, suddenly it's like, hey, we're feeling good. So there's some bizarre metaphor in there about how a shift of even a millimeter can yield great changes. But the bigger thing is I have felt diminished. Because of this small thing in an otherwise healthy body. So I still should be living from a point of gratitude because I can walk. I have so much that is right with my body. But I have been feeling diminished. I have been feeling like I am not the self I have always known. And so I'm kind of on an emotional journey thanks to my body, which got me to thinking we all could probably write some sort of piece about the wounds our body has suffered, the scars on our body. Hey, check that out. You want to talk rotator cuff? I'm here for you. So if you could write a piece where you even started out with like an outline of a body. Does this not make us all want a gingerbread cookie right now? Because run as fast as you can, Mr. Gingerbread Man. All right, so what if you started out with some sort of human form or gingerbread guy form, and you thought, well, I'm gonna, let's see, for me, it was my right shoulder has a scar on it. So I could just start by labeling things. Let's see, rotator cuff, among other ailments. All right, let's go down here. You don't know what I'm doing, but let's just say C-section scar. Yeah, I got that. I also have a thing on, let me see, I think it's my right knee. I have like this raised weird bump thing on my right knee that's been there since maybe first or second grade because I think I jammed a pencil into it and snapped off like the graphite inside of my leg. So I've been carrying that. So we'll just call it pencil wound. And I'm trying to think, I've got to have other scars. But anyhow, I also could do, it's my left knee. So I have whatever this knee ailment is. And if I really sat with this, I could also, oh, hey, remember how I had these Achilles problems a couple years ago? Literally had some Achilles heels. So anyhow, I could go through and I could kind of draw out for myself a little sketch of the wounds, the scars, the things that have been affected on my body that have created changes for me emotionally and in how I live my life. I could write then, let's say, a short bit for each one of these. I could tell you how after that surgery, 6 weeks after, when I had every day done every last bit of physical therapy they told me to, I went in to see the surgeon and he did a couple strength tests. I was super shaky because I had been told to do, to not lift the arm on its own. I was just supposed to let it dangle. But anyhow, he told me that I was way behind the curve in the recovery. So I made it to the lobby before I cried about that one. But I'll have you know, I'll have you know, my people, that 6 weeks after that, when I went for my next checkup, I was like, screw you, ego surgeon, dude, you know what? And I was a beast, and he was very impressed. And he said, oh, your recovery is way ahead of the curve because you were so strong going into the surgery. All right, back to this. Oh, yeah, it feels like a shame. You know I love a nice earring. Let's give me some dangly earrings on this thing. And also, a little floof of hair is never a sad thing. Okay. All right, so there's me. Anyhow, what I could do then is sit at the keyboard, or I could write directly on here the story about the surgeon making me cry. I could try and recall first or second grade and how that pencil got jammed into my leg. I could tell you a little bit about the Achilles strain that happened after a particularly vigorous BOSU class one day. The C-section scar is an extremely interesting story because, hey, I got a kid out of the deal. And I would say the day that that scar came into my life was both the best and the worst day of my entire life so far. And it's been 16 years now. But what I really remember about that scar is, so I had my son, I had that baby, and couple weeks later, my dad died, and we had to drive across the plains to Montana in February, and I was still really raw in the scar, and all those hours of the seatbelt pulling over the scar really irritated it, and I ended up on the day of my dad's memorial service in the urgent care because my scar had become infected. So it was pussy and red. So envision that if you want. And so I basically was put on antibiotics and spent the whole day until it was time to go remember my father dealing with this. So I had like a fever at my father's memorial. So there's a whole bunch of meaning I could draw out of that. I could definitely write a lot about this knee ailment and how I'm renegotiating my relationship with myself and how I perceive myself, because I like to jump, I like to get out there, I like to think I'm someone with a little zest and a little vigor, and I've been feeling, as I said, quite diminished lately. So would not it be interesting, as you think about your own corporeal history, for you to sketch out, you could write an essay that doesn't even take traditional essay form. You could write an essay where you have paragraphs that shoot off from various body parts. I'm just thinking out loud here, but see how if you let your brain spiral, you can come up with all sorts of ideas. So consider it, my friends. Oh my God, I forgot about this scar right there. When I was 6 years old, I was getting the chicken pox, and my mom decided it was a zit, so she couldn't have her daughter having a zit, her 6-year-old, so she popped it. So I have this for the rest of my life. I have this scar right here, so I could mine the heck out of that story for a little something about mothers, daughters, and concern over how the daughter looks.